This show, we're taking a look from McFarlane Toys Gold Label, DC Multiverse, Batman, DC versus the Vampires. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the show, guys. Welcome back. And guys, are you in for a treat today with this one here? This is just out of hand with McFarlane. But before we get into this character, before we get into the details, we get into the sculpt and the articulation, we'll begin the housekeeping. But before we do that, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Follow me there when I post toy photography. If not, follow me on the Twitterverse on Twitter. Man, I'm excited to review this one. I love when there is a variant of the old stuff that we love and the old stuff that we know. I love when there's a difference of it. Love when McFarlane puts together, and McFarlane having the licensing. Guys, you guys know from when I did the review of the um, Todd McFarlane Batman design, his own design, it says it in the back of that card. Go back and read that card. It says it there that this was always his favorite character. So a lot of you whining out there, McFarlane's doing Batman. Well, this is his favorite. So go back and read it and you'll see it there. But enough of that. Let's jump in, guys, because there's not a lot of housekeeping to do. McFarlane isn't very generous enough to give us accessories, you know, more hands or something else or a different head. But it's okay. Would gladly trade this any day for hands or a different sculpt. Then we are going to look at the beautiful Batman axe slash spike to spike those vampires. Look at the details of that. As a matter of fact, guys, in the viewfinder, it looks very chrome. The plastic, it is not as flimsy as the Duke Thomas axe guitar. It's a little bit of a more sturdier, harder plastic, which I like. Love the emblem there. Look at that thing. Look at that little crown in the top. I mean, and this thing here, the spike, is just well done that even Vlad Tepes would be happy to impale people with this spike here. That's how fantastic it is. I mean, come on, guys. We all know the Todd father loves horror. And, you know, he jumped on that opportunity. But I'm going to express something to you guys. When you look at the trading card, it is a comic design, but sadly, I think because the comic book is still running, it's the same thing we get in every card about Bruce Wayne becoming Batman. Nothing about him becoming a vampire. And you guys can pause it. I'm going to speak real quickly because spoilers are coming. I started listening, and I don't have the volumes yet. I'm waiting for the omnibus to come out so I can get it. I prefer a whole omnibus and different comics. That's just me, guys. I'm not a comic book collector. The little that I know about comic books, here and there. So forgive me for that. No need to punish me. However, I've only gotten as far. Here comes the spoiler in 3, 2, 1. Where we know that Hal Jordan is a vampire and he's kind of like the Renfield to some vampire master. That's as far as I've gotten to. Unfortunately, haven't gotten any further to find out why Batman is a vampire, or we already know that McFarlane put out a Joker vampire, which I have my good friend William and Pedro out on the hunt looking for him. But enough about that. Let's just jump into this. You know, DC, we're not allowed to have guns, but blood is okay. You know, that's okay. That's all over the place. And if you're looking at this, guys, when you're holding this guy in hand, the uniform is like a brown, a chocolate brown. I got a little bit of a, let me bring it out here and clean it up a little bit of a smudge there. But guys, the color of this is like a chocolate brown. It could be that it's soaked in blood. That's why it's looking like that. I think we've seen this cape before. I can't remember which one of the other ones have this cape that folds over like that, and that's okay. I'm not a fan of the swooshing cape, but it works for this creepy guy here. It's just fantastic. I mean, let's bring this bad boy in here. Is that too close? Look at the teeth. Let me focus in on that guy right there. Look at that. Even the blood on his head, the uniform, even the cow's damaged there. Look at the teeth. Look at the eyes. Man, is that some creepy stuff or what, guys? I mean, and look, you see the uniform. We got the pouches. Pouches, I would have liked that they would have been a little bit dirtied up. But again, I got to go back and see the story of why he's a vampire, why he's carrying an axe. Knowing Bruce or knowing that, and this has nothing to do with that Elsewhere story where Bruce becomes a vampire to fight Dracula, I think, and Selena becomes a werewolf to help and joins him in the fight in fighting that. I don't think this has any, and this has nothing to do with the animated series, the Batman, where Batman versus Dracula. So I definitely got to go back, find out what is happening in that series, maybe do a follow up or maybe be up to date once I get the Joker action figure. Sorry about that, but you know, guys, McFarlane's action figures are top heavy and they tend to fall. And you guys love those bloopers. So he's having a tendency of wanting to fall. So I got him in there now. Let's refocus the camera. So, guys, so far I'm liking what I'm seeing. Fortunately, we don't get a lot of hands, being the fact that it's a gold label and McFarlane isn't gracious enough or splendid or generous enough to give us more stuff. But at this point, let's go ahead and put the spike or axe in his hand so you guys can take a look at what that looks like. Be extra careful. It's pointy. His hands are a little bit tight, but I will get that in there. Here we go. And you guys can see that in there. Looks good. Let me bring the guy in here so you guys can see that. And he looks fantastic holding that axe. So he looks good overall, guys. He looks fantastic. It looks great on him. So let's just jump in real quickly on the articulation because there's not really much more we can do on this review. You know, other than the fact that it's a beautiful color on this, and you guys got to see it in hand. The viewfinder makes it look like a lighter brown, but it's like a really dark chocolate color. So the head goes this way, goes around and go fitting that this is already a dead Batman. He can look down for sure. So if he's, you know, he's on top of a perch looking down, ready to jump on somebody, he can definitely look up like that. Not a whole lot on it. And it looks like we got that from the three Jokers. So it's on that same, the whole entire thing. So you can't swap out the heads, and that's okay. I wasn't planning to. I like the way this looks. We get a nice T-pose. So we do get that in there. Look at that. So you guys are okay with that. We've got a nice bicep swivel. So we know that does that there. You can see there's the butterfly joint or the bushing in there. Let me go ahead and close the arm. We get double jointed. And guys, even here as I'm touching those nails, they're a hard plastic. The gauntlet brings it and covers the Mcfarlane ball bearing. It's not sculpted into that, but we do get all kinds of movement in there. As you can see, I'm rotating and moving it around. So you do see that in there. How much of a ab crunch do we get from this figure? Well, let's take a look. This is as far as we're going to go, and this is as far back as we're going to get. So we do get a swivel in the waist, but not the bottom portion. We do get the split with the McFarlane mechanism. At least that's what I call it. We're good there. There, you know, the thigh swivel is just on the hinge on the top. We have a double jointed. Sorry about that. I hit the camera. Double jointed knees. I hit the camera again. And last but not least, it's on a ball bearing. So this is probably a reused body. Probably the three Jokers Batman is what I look like. I could be wrong. You guys can share that with me in the comments if that's what it is. But overall, it's a fantastic horror piece to put on your shelf. It definitely, for you animators out there who are doing, you know, any type of horror, Animation, I will tell you, this guy does animate well, but like all McFarlane figures, it's top heavy. I'm gonna go ahead and put the peg on it. I don't feel like dealing with the falling down and fighting. You know, the screen time is for you guys there to look at it. So overall, he looks good, guys. He looks fantastic. Not much more than I can say than other than the fact that McFarlane continues to make him top heavy, and I don't know if he's got to go back to design to do that, and that's probably why we get the stand. But at times, I would give up the stand for any type of hands or anything like that. So tell me what you think in the comments, guys. Let me know if this is a piece that you're going to pick up to put. I personally think you should. Looks fantastic. The dead coloring goes great with the Darkest Nights, if that's what you call it. I forgot now. I did all review of all of them with the Superman, the Deathstorm, the Batman, all of those guys that are dead from the Green Lantern series. Let me know if this is something you'll pick up to have in your series. I think it's fantastic. Go ahead and get it. So if you like today's episode, guys, don't forget to hit the bell to get notified when I've been uploading. And if you like today's episode, hit the like and don't forget to subscribe, guys. We're getting on the road to 500 and trying to reach 1,000. And if you guys notice, I haven't been doing a lot of reviews. I've been dialing back, so it's been, piling up on me, the boxes as they've been coming in, my pre-orders. But it's because I've been dedicating more time to the stop motion, because that's eventually where I've always wanted to take the channel, to make it a stop motion channel. In conjunction with being a review channel, so you guys can see how we can animate some of these action figures. So with that said, guys, this is Red. I am here with the Vamp Bruce Wayne Batman. We're done, and we are